Rock and roll may live forever, but we only retire once. Kevin Lamour of Our Financial Plans and Quadris Investment Services offers a large range of financial solutions from some of the biggest leaders in the investment and insurance landscape of Canada. See how a solid financial plan built with friendly and professional advice can help. Find out more at ourfinancialplans.ca or give them a call at 705-949-1316. Hey folks, and welcome to another episode of the Lonesome Cowboy Podcast. Brian Tremblay here with you, and on the line is a young lady that I met at a Folk Music Ontario, but now Folk Canada conference, and she is a hard-working musician. And say hi to Allison Brown.
Hi, Brian. How's it going?
Very good. Thank you, dear. So, you really found your niche in music, didn't you? You worked in a bluegrass camp, and you hosted radio programs, and you have a whole list of services that you do for musicians. I mean, how did you come by all these admin skills? You just happen to be good at office work.
Well, you know what? It's the kind of stuff that nobody likes doing. Like,
Yeah,
no one
exactly.
loves filling out forms or, like, doing all this stuff where you got to upload your stuff to Spotify, like
Yeah.
for CD Baby and stuff like that. It's just really the grunt work of kind of musician life that takes up a lot of time. And, like, let's be real, some of us are more inclined to doing those jobs than others. Like, for me, I certainly don't mind sitting down for like a half an hour and just typing up people's track lists, and that's what I was doing today, and like getting their artwork together and that kind of stuff, because a lot of that stuff, other people really don't enjoy it, so I'm very happy to take that on, and I charge a little bit for that, but not exorbitant fees. And I do a lot of other stuff too. Like right now, I'm still working for the Slow Can Ramblers, which I absolutely love.
Oh, yeah,
working
right.
for those guys. They're a fabulous bluegrass group. So for them, I just manage their itinerary. So like I kind of advance all their tour dates, and I like get in touch with the venues and figure out, okay, what time's the load in, what time's the sound check, if they need a stage plot, or when's the food, and like where are we sleeping and all that kind of stuff. So I just manage their schedule. So I have that all organized for them, so they don't have to like email all the venues back and forth. Like they don't have time for that. So I'll do it for them. So yeah, that's one of my main jobs these days. And I mean, it's just stuff that I took on because I had been doing it for myself for 25 plus years of the many changing ways that we do our musician administrative tasks.
There you go. I love it. Yeah, I mean, I understand. I do the same thing. I've done some posters and some stuff, and I've done some social media logos and postings, that the persons can use for their podcasts. So, hey, we got to do it wherever we can do it, right? You got to point those skills in the right direction. Now, what I'm going to do is, and we'll let everybody in on the behind the scenes here, I'm going to take my headphones off. I'm going to close my door because I think all the sounds from the traffic are coming through.
Okay, that's great. Well, somewhere back behind me is a very quiet dog, so we hope that it'll stay that way as well.
And then again, who
Brian,
knows?
that was fast.
Yeah, see, it's right. It's only right there. I got a little place. Excellent.
Nice.
Outstanding. Tell us how getting into performing and songwriting, how did that come to you?
Oh, yeah. Well, you do get asked this question a lot in your career. And I mean, for me, it was really not a choice. Like, I definitely, I started singing when I was about 14 years old in high school. I had very excellent music teachers in high school that really recognized that, I feel like I just kind of had a gift for singing. Like, I didn't really practice, I didn't really work on it. I just literally joined a vocal class and, was really doing well with it when I was in school. So, I mean, I really started there. And as a singer, I mean, I was kind of leading the stage band in like band arrangements. And I had really cool teachers that let me do like Janis Joplin stuff and like
Cool.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears and U2 and all that stuff. Like, we didn't really do the standard high school band repertoire. And I mean, I got to sing with a lot of other singers too. There was a lot of really other good singers in our class. And so I really got my start there. And then, through that, I decided to try to learn how to play guitar because, eventually I wasn't going to have all these students to play with me, and like what was I going to do going forward.
Hmm.
So yeah, then I started picking up guitar. My dad played guitar for years, and so there was stuff like that around the house. So I took a guitar class again in high school, to kind of get working on that. And then and then I kind of started writing songs quite a bit after that, actually. It was more when I started kind of collaborating with my cousin. So she and I had like a little group for a while. And that's kind of when I thought, okay, well, and she was really a prolific songwriter as a youngster, like, 17, 18 years old, and then we started our own little group. So that's kind of where it started. And then, yeah, like it's very rare that I've taken more than like a year off from playing live, even since that time, and in various
Awesome.
iterations as well. Like,
Yeah.
and then of course after school was over, I had a bunch of different boyfriends that I played music with, and blah blah blah. Like it just, yeah, it's actually been kind of weird for me to take about. I usually take a little break in the winter because
Yeah.
I don't really gig too much in the winter,
Sure.
but I've taken a bit of a longer break. Like the last real gig that I did was in November, and my first gig of 2026 is this weekend for Women's Day on March the 8th.
Cool.
Um, so yeah, and I don't really have a full stacked like show calendar this year yet, but
Yeah.
things change, and I'm in the process. I'm going to be moving, so I kind of wanted to like leave some empty space so that I have room to schedule other stuff and
Yeah.
kind of getting some more things together for this year. So
Yeah.
it's pretty different.
Yeah.
So,
That's
so
outstanding.
yeah, I
And
didn't. It chose me. Music chose me.
that's outstanding. And
Yeah.
that's the great part about where you folks live as opposed to where I am stuck here in the wilds of northern Ontario is you have such a range of places you can play. Because you're within an hour to 2 hours to drive there. You know what I mean? Uh,
It is kind of been convenient, especially like when I was younger and I was doing more touring.
mhm.
Like, I could start in Windsor, do a show there, and play like Guelph, Hamilton, London, Toronto, and then go home. And like that would be like a Thursday to Monday or something.
Yeah.
It was easy to do that.
Yeah.
And then even, later on when I was going out for like 2 and 3 weeks at a time, you just, you drive up to Ottawa, then you can go to Sudbury, and then you can go down again. Like it is pretty convenient to have that, um, for touring, but even it for stuff like I don't consider, going between London and Windsor to be a tour. It's just kind of conveniently located places to play. And I mean, down around Essex County, there's all the wineries and stuff. So
Yeah.
those have been kind of my go-to gigs for the summers,
Cool.
and festivals and stuff as well. Like there's quite a few things that you can do around Southern Ontario. But I mean, I love Northern Ontario. I really miss going there. And I know there's more to do there than probably most people think. So yeah.
Yeah. For a lot of folks that don't live here, and like I said, for me, winter is not something to enjoy. Winter is something to be survived.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you
Well,
go.
London's in the snow belt, so we don't get the quite as cold temperatures, but we sure do get the big snow dumps.
Yeah, you get those, that's
So,
for sure.
yeah.
So, as we were chatting about, you like all musicians, we make our money where we can make our money, and you do something really cool because so many musicians have pets, and not that you do it just for musicians, but you are a pet sitter.
Yes, yes.
And
I've been doing that for quite a while, and that's really been like
you built a big
a
business, though.
well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, what I'm very happy with, like I have a lot of regular clients now.
Hmm.
So like people, especially people who take really long vacations, I'm here where I'm at right now for over a month. I've had some other opportunities like last summer and the summer before I went out and did a bunch of house and dog sitting, on the West Coast. So I went to Vancouver Island for a few months at a
Wow,
time,
that's
and that
awesome.
was awesome.
Yeah,
It's in really high demand, and I mean, I take care of dogs and cats, but it is mostly dogs, because they have a little bit more, they need a lot more,
yeah, yeah.
a little bit more work than cats.
I love it.
But yeah, like it's been really good because aside from this, when I'm not doing this, doing the dog sitting, I'm living at my parents' house in Windsor area. So it's nice to be able to get away and, kind of have my own space.
Yeah.
And I've been kind of mostly in London where I have a lot of like a lot of people that have been in my bands over the years and people that I could like jam with and do more
Yeah.
group shows and stuff.
Yeah.
My good buddy Dan Henshall, who I've played with forever, he lives here, so it's a little bit easier to set up gigs that way if
Hmm.
I'm here as opposed to in Windsor. And there's stuff to do down there too, but it's nice to be in town. Yeah, and I mean my overhead's low. I mean, the past 5 years I haven't paid bills at all. So it's like, but that's
Outstanding.
changing, Brian. That's changing, Brian, because
Oh,
this
is
year I'm
it?
getting my own place. Yes.
No.
Yes. I'm getting my own place here in London and
Buying a house?
yeah.
Wow.
Well, here I don't mind giving the details, but like my dad is gonna buy a property and I'm just gonna rent that house from him. So I
Nice.
won't be on the hook too much, but
That's
I
awesome.
definitely will still be on the hook. And yeah, because it's time. Suitcase life is. I went from van life to suitcase life. Like, so I
That's
think I'm
awesome.
ready for actual small house life.
Yeah,
That
really.
would be great.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah.
Um, I gotta make sure I gotta get into. Oh, yes, I'm in the right spot. I was about to say, is that Allison's question?
Hey, you can ask me questions for other people. I can just make up very clever answers.
There you go. Tell me about the Jackie Washington audio documentary. How did that come
Oh
about?
yes, that's right. Yes. Yeah, that goes way, way, way back. Like I did that in 2008, I believe.
Sounds cool.
Um, Yeah, well, I'm glad you took a listen to that because it's been kind of in my little vault on my Bandcamp page for quite a while. And I mean,
Yeah.
Jackie Washington was an incredible guy and an incredible musician. And of course, every summer he would play here at our home county festival in London.
Hmm.
And I got a chance to interview him as part of like, because I did radio shows for many, many years, Radio Western here in London at the University of Western Ontario. So they had a little documentary contest where there was a couple different radio professionals that came in to do a little workshop with us about how to make little audio docs. And I thought, okay, well, I've got like a bunch of like footage that I had from when I interviewed Jackie, so I thought I would turn it into a story on him. And then I had my good old friend Ken Palmer, the late great Ken Palmer, was also a big help in putting that together because, of course, he knew Jackie for many, many years.
Cool.
And then I ended up winning the contest, so I won like $150, and I got a great story. And I feel like those insights from Jackie are really special to have. So yeah, go and listen to that on my Bandcamp page. It's free. You can still listen to it. It was a fun project.
I have a
Yeah.
note here about your Christmas shows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, now that'd be something would be great if you could have those on a radio every year. That's a syndication thing, if you ask me.
Well, it is sort of a little bit syndicated, I
Oh,
guess. Like
good.
I do have a few stations. Like they play it in Windsor, they play it in London, and there's a couple stations in Kitchener that play it as well. So it doesn't really. I haven't really branched it out past Southern Ontario, but yeah, like. And then I put it on a SoundCloud, and you can hear it every year too. It's called the Fireside Christmas Radio
Right.
Hour,
Yeah.
which
Hmm.
is actually 90 minutes long. So
There you
just so
go.
you know, it's 90 minutes.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
good.
yeah, and it's been really great. Like it's kind of an evolution of what I used to do as part of my live shows that I used to do. Because I mean, both at Radio Western and at CJAM in Windsor for many years, I hosted a folk music show, a folk music radio show live every week. So I mean, during the times when I had my live show, um, I would just do it live from my snow-covered cabin in the woods. So that was a bit of an undertaking. I mean, it's still a lot of work to get all the equipment up to my secret location in the woods. So I really appreciate all the help from CJAM, particularly
Cool.
for doing that. So yeah, I used to do it live, but since the pandemic, I've done it pre-recorded. So it's pre-recorded from the snow-covered cabin in the woods, and I always enjoy putting my crackling fire on and getting my wood chopped. It's a huge preparation, like not just for getting the songs
You're gonna
together,
do it. You're gonna
but
do it right, eh?
yeah, like I gotta perfect my hot chocolate recipe for the show. It's an undertaking, and I love doing it. It's definitely a passion that I have every year
That's
to
cool.
bring you guys my insights on Christmas every year. And I, like the last 5 years, I've also had a theme. So
Yeah.
like I used
Yeah.
to not have themes, but like yeah, this year's theme was Winter Wonderland, and then
Ah,
before that was Naughty and Nice.
nice.
And I think my best show that I've ever done was on the ghosts of Christmas present, past, and future. So that was like 3 years ago. So some of
Nice.
the archives are on my SoundCloud, but like I can't keep them all there all the time.
Hmm.
So yeah. So if you're feeling festive,
Yes.
you can still dial those up, get cozy.
Now, I do have to say, by the way, perusing your music, my favorite song is Pizza and Beer.
Oh gosh, yes. You love to go way, way back in the vault,
I
Brian. This is like,
unfortunately I do
you know,
take heart as a compliment though, because I do that when I discover an artist. I hit this. I hate digital, but I like digital because it gives me access to all their music.
absolutely.
And I go way back.
Yeah.
I'll go right back to their first album they put out. You know?
Absolutely. I
And
love
then
doing that too.
exactly.
I
So I
love
do
doing
that.
that too.
So I mean, right now I'm working on a Pete Seeger, Woody Guthrie show.
Oh, wow.
And I just last night performed a George Jones and Tammy Wynette show, me and my wife, and it went over huge,
Nice.
big, good ticket sales. I couldn't believe it. I said, man, that's how I'm sneaking in my originals. You see, I play a little bit of that, and then I play some of my stuff at the end.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
It to me, when you talk about that, and it makes me sad because of corporate radio, and obviously these must have been community radio stations
Oh, yes. Yeah. These
or
were all
college,
campus
yeah.
community radio
And
stations.
you know,
Yeah. Like, I
it's
don't
why
know.
can't commercial radio be like that again? Why can't they have shows? You know, this
I
is
know.
way back in the early days with the first guy with the rock and roll there, the Moondog show. And,
Right.
everybody had a different show and a different theme, and they programmed their own music. Now it's like
I know.
corporate just opens up your maw and jams down the latest, whatever.
Well, I mean, commercial radio is about commercials. Like, that's what it's
Right.
about. It's
Yeah.
not really about
That's the point.
presenting some creative new experience for people the way that it used to. I mean, where I live, everyone talks about the old days of CKLW and how that literally changed the world.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think we're pretty far removed from any of that in such a huge spectrum. And I mean, that's where campus radio does fill that role.
Yes, it does.
I mean,
I wish we had some of that here in town. I really do.
yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, there's not really. Well, and people are starting a lot of online radio stations that are
Yes.
also, very
Yeah. Well,
popular
we have
too.
one of
Like
those here in
there's a
town, but
couple.
it's I call it a bot station
Okay, so it's
because
not like
it's
programmed
just
by.
here's a bunch of songs, go,
Right.
and then here's the new show, go, but there's nobody there. There's no personality.
It's not like a live thing because you
Exactly.
can do them live. Like
Oh
there's
sure
some
you can.
live online radio shows happening. We
The
have the
person that runs
technology.
it doesn't want any advice in that respect from
Well,
somebody
start
who
your
worked in
own,
radio.
Brian.
So
That's
there
what
you
you
go.
just start your own. I think
Yeah.
it's free. I don't.
Yeah,
It might not be
I've
free.
heard that.
I don't
I've
know.
heard that. So you talk about going deep dive, Allison. Check this out. I was on your
Oh gosh.
Bandcamp, which is the only place you should get your music. I was listening to college student Allison playing
Yeah.
an analog tape recording, and it was some
Yes.
covers. Tell me about that.
That was from my student days at the music industry art program at Fanshawe College
Oh,
here in
cool.
London, where we did our projects on the great big reels of 2-inch tape, the thick stuff. So yeah, with the big tape machine, you got to wind the thing all
I
around.
have one
so
sitting here
so
on my desk.
Oh, you do? That's great. Yeah. So I mean, it was kind of cool to say that I had that experience. So I put up some of my class projects that were things that got recorded, back in like 1998, when I was a student. So yeah,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
there's
yeah.
a Lemonhead song on there, and I can't remember what else is up there, but maybe a Grateful Dead song. I don't know. So yeah, those are cool. So I thought I'd throw those up on my Bandcamp too,
There you
so
go.
that you can hear young me. So
You haven't changed a stitch.
Ah.
So, tell me, and everybody wants to know, what's your songwriting process? Are you I got lyrics first, I got a melody first, or I got lyrics and I start banging out some chords to see if a melody falls into it? What kind of a songwriter are you in that respect?
Ooh, most of the time I have to like stew upon a topic for months
Oh, really?
before
Oh,
I get
cool.
anything. Yeah.
Interesting.
Like I am a really slow songwriter, and I've really have not written songs for quite a number of years now.
Oh, wow.
So I've been in a little bit of a blockage, that's for sure. Um, because for me, singing is the first thing. Like,
Yeah.
I'll sit down with my guitar and I will just want to blast out some like, you know, anything from like Linda Ronstadt songs to like, whatever I'm listening to at the time. Like, I just really love songs so much that, a lot of times it's more about what am I going to sing today? It's not really about what am I going to write today,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And I am a little bit lazy about it. So, at times in my life, my songwriting process was book some studio time and don't have any songs. And then you have this panic where you have to finish them.
Yeah, no
So,
kidding.
like, that's the kind of stuff, that's the kind of wild life that
Yeah.
I have,
That's what
Brian.
the Beatles did. We got an idea, and then they'd spend,
Yeah,
the
it's like,
entire
well, I
day
got
making a
two
song.
songs.
Yeah.
Why don't I book some studio time? And sure, I'll finish something else in like a couple months.
Yeah, I'm a
So,
rock
and
star.
I mean, I did get some really good stuff out of that. And I mean, my early songs, yeah, like, and sometimes I kind of get on like little themes. Like my last record that had a lot of originals on it was done in about 2016,
Uh,
and a lot of those songs were kind of focused on Windsor. Like I had sort of a Windsor theme because I was back living in Windsor, and I had some ideas that kind of came from that. Um, so I kind of got a little regional with my ideas, and like, yeah, I sometimes I'll get lyrics while I'm just sort of singing a bunch of blah blah blah. But most of the time, I really have to think about it, and I'm really meticulous about editing. I don't just be like, oh, I'm done. This is it. No, I have to sing it out like a lot of times.
yeah.
You know, I got to write it down a lot of times. I reword the order. Like I'm really meticulous because I want the song. I don't want anything in that song to not be about what the song is about, And I like to try to like really make it just perfect. Maybe that's why it's taken me forever to write anything. But, I'd rather get it right than I kind of go for quality over quantity with my
Yeah.
songwriting. So
Yeah.
so yeah, nothing's really materialized in almost 10 years, but
You have analysis paralysis.
perhaps. And again, I'm just obsessed with other songs. And like I find that I'm always rehearsing for other gigs
That's not
because
a
the
bad
gigs that
thing.
I'm doing now are not always about original music. Like I'm very
No, I
happy to
agree.
go play
Yeah.
at the winery with my friend Mike Houston, play some old country and bluegrass music. Like I love doing that too.
Hmm.
So it's all part of it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's about it. Yeah.
that's
So,
yeah.
let's talk about the music business here. It's not looking good for us out there.
Has it ever though, Brian,
Well,
really?
yeah. I mean, when you look back in the old days of the music business in the 60s and the 70s and even in the 80s, at least we were making some money. But,
See, I missed all of the days when people made some money.
yeah,
I
exactly.
know
So do
that's
I.
not it's yeah. I mean, I do make some money sometimes, like some of the really great gigs, and I just love gigging. And I mean, for me, it's part of my little income picture. I mean, for me,
Yes.
I'm okay with making like $100, but
Yeah,
it's also nice when
I
you
hear
make
what you're
more.
saying. Yeah, and
Yeah.
see, and I'm just the opposite. You know, I got offered $100 for two of us for 2 hours of play, and I went, no,
That's not quite. No, no. You got
that
to keep
doesn't
it fair.
work.
For two of you, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly. Um, how has the 21st century music business changed your music output, or has it? I guess it really hasn't, eh? Because or has that 10-year break from nothing original coming out have to do with that 21st century music business? You want to get it right? You want to get it perfect?
Well, I think it's more about like where I'm at personally in my own career.
Gotcha.
There was a point at which, I reached a plateau of the kinds of gigs that I was able to get. And I kind of woke up and smelled the coffee and I was like, yep, I'm not going to get booked at all these big ones. I might as well just have fun doing what I want to do. And also, I mean, even if you're not printing CDs and that kind of stuff, making really good recordings on whatever spectrum that means to you, still costs. It costs a lot. You got to get your people organized. Because I mean, I'm not the kind of person who would like AI my backup band.
Oh God, no.
No way. I have heard things that are done that way, and I am fooled. It is sounding pretty good, the AI backup band, but I'd rather have real humans in the studio doing stuff. So I mean, like, I wasn't at a point at which I wanted to put out albums and like try to promote albums and trying to get the stuff on the radio. At least not for me. Like, I'm happy to help other people with that stuff, but it's a big time investment, and like especially when you kind of hit that plateau, and I was like, okay, I don't, and I didn't want to like buy another van and all of that stuff. Like
Yeah, I get you. Well,
because but I mean that's changing though. A lot of young people are not playing live as the way that we all used to, and that's not their thing.
Because
there's a lot of online concerts and a lot of like, everything's about being, having good Instagram videos and that kind of stuff. Yeah. So, and to me, that's just not as fun as like playing live shows. So, I don't know. Well, it is a different landscape, and I don't know if that's changed my output necessarily. I think it's more like, where am I going to have the most fun and make a little bit of money and feel like I'm contributing to the overall picture of music?
I agree 100%. So, I mean, look, I have no aspirations to be a star. I don't want to be walking down the street and people go, it's him, which never would happen with this old guy. But anyways, it's more like, it's him, run away.
Sure, it's not, Brian.
But yeah, I would. I've gone the same way, and that's why I'm doing these special shows and stuff like that, so I'm getting in the door that way, right? And you can get a little extra money when you do all those extra things like that, and then hey, guess what? To close out the show, here's half an hour to an hour of my stuff. What do you think?
Oh yeah. Well, and I mean, I definitely throw in original songs, in places where it may not be. And I mean, the kinds of gigs that I do, like I definitely play covers, but I'm not playing covers that people know. I'm not, it's mostly either old music or stuff that's a little bit obscure, all over the map kind of thing.
Those are the best.
So yeah, it's, I don't really play Whose Bed Have Your Boots Been Under. So
thank you for not doing that.
Which isn't a terrible song.
Yes.
But I mean, that's not the kinds of gigs that I'm doing. It's still a lot of like, whatever I want. So
I went when I toured. The last stop on the tour was in Timmins, and I went and visited the former site of the Shania Twain Center. It is now an open pit mine.
What? Oh, I thought it still existed. Oh,
no,
dear. Okay.
Torn down, big open pit mine.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna take I'm gonna take one of the pictures of it, and I'm gonna go former site of the Shania Twain Center.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyways, Allison, tell the folks where they can find out about you and your music and all that fun stuff and the socials and all that fun thing.
Yeah, well, everything, if you want to give a listen to some songs, you can go to AllisonBrown.ca. So that's ALLISONBROWN.ca. And then you can find all the social links from there too. And there's info about all my other stuff, like, my administrative stuff and anything else you want to find out about, and you can contact me through that as well. Also, just if you're Googling, make sure you don't get the other Allison Brown.
Yes, that's right.
She's a very famous banjo player. with one L as opposed to two.
That's right. Yes.
So yeah, there's a lot of interesting stories, where I, accidentally get her emails and people asking me like, "Wow, how'd you get that great gig playing with Steve Martin?" And I'm like, "Nope,
Wrong
not
guy.
me." Yeah, she's exceptionally
Wrong gal.
talented, and like we
Oh,
did
I
get to
know.
meet once, which was very special. So yeah, but yeah, if you see a blonde woman with a banjo,
Yeah.
you're gonna hear some great music,
Yeah.
but
But it's
it's
not
not
me.
gonna be me. There's two of us, so go check us out, both of us.
There you go.
So
Yeah, do that. Check out the Allison Brown with two L's and the Allison Brown with one L.
absolutely.
There you go. And we will have a link to Allison's webpage, and you can follow up on her stuff from there. And I really think you should, because she's got some great music and some cool
Oh,
titles
thanks,
too.
Brian. That's great. That's
Yeah.
great. I'm
What
glad.
was it?
Thank
Vipers
you
at the
so much for
Virgin's
listening.
Feet or something like that?
Yes, that was
What a
yeah,
title.
that was well, see that like again, I really, I really kind of think about the songs and I think about, I don't write the songs, I mean, we all love the breakup song and the love song and all
Oh,
of that
sure.
stuff, but I write songs about snakes in church, like
Yeah.
I write songs about picking up trash and old, dilapidated hospitals. So
See?
I kind of try to keep the subject matter, you know, um, a little bit specific, But I mean, these things also kind of unlock other issues, right? Like that record was kind of it had a little bit of a gospel flavor to it. So,
Uh-huh.
so yeah, that record was a fun one to work with, and I worked with David Essig on that as well. So, I've always loved talking to David. David and I are still in touch quite regularly, and
Cool.
he's kind of my mentor. So,
Love it.
so
Yeah.
yeah, lots of what I do is accredited to my time hanging out with David Essig. That's for sure. So, yeah,
Allison Brown, thank you. Thank you for coming on the show. Always a blast.
great, Brian. We'll see you soon.
You bet.